yelling at me. I said, "You broke into my apartment." She said, "It's not breaking in when it's family." I called my dad. I said, "Mom broke in through my window. This has to stop." He said, "Your mother worries about you. If you'd just give us a key like a normal daughter, she wouldn't have to do this. You're the one making this difficult." That night, I realized I would never win. I could change every lock, seal every window, and they would find another way in. The only solution was to disappear completely. I found an apartment across town in a building with a doorman and a strict guest policy. I signed the lease without telling anyone. I took a Friday off work without telling my parents. I rented a moving truck and called 2 friends. We had my entire apartment empty by 3 p.m. I cleaned until it looked like no one had ever lived there and turned in my keys that afternoon. For the next 3 days, I answered my parents' texts like nothing had changed. Mom sent me a recipe and I replied with a thumbs up. Then I stopped responding. The second day, my phone blew up. 23 missed calls. The last voicemail from Mom was hysterical. She was saying, "We're at your apartment and it's completely empty. There's nothing here. Where are you?" I waited an hour before calling back. When Mom answered, she was sobbing. She said, "We thought something terrible happened. Your apartment is empty." I kept my voice calm. I said, "Why would you think something terrible happened?" She said, "Because everything is gone." I said, "Why are you at my apartment right now?" The line went quiet. I said, "I moved, but that doesn't answer my question. Why are you there uninvited?" Mom's voice got small. She said, "We were worried. You weren't answering." I said, "So you broke in again?" "That's exactly why I left without telling you." Dad grabbed the phone. He said, "We're your parents. We had every right to check on you." I said, "You climbed through my window because I wouldn't let you in. That's not parenting. That's stalking." Dad said, "Fine, give us your new address." I said, "No." He said, "Excuse me?" I said, "You broke into my apartment twice after I changed the locks. You manipulated my landlord. You climbed through my window. I'm not giving you the chance to do any of that again." Mom yelled, "We are your parents." I said, "And I'm an adult who gets to decide who enters my home. You proved I can't trust you with that information." That was 4 months ago, and they still don't know where I live. I've never slept better.